that's the Earth's skin, and so we have to protect the skin, otherwise, well, the sea comes in and eats the Earth, doesn't it? I mean, if you haven't got something protecting the sandhills and things, the sand will just blow away.
Dunes throughout the world are basically the flexible buffer between the sea and the land, and the coast really needs to move in and out. We've ended up in a situation where we've built far too close to the coast, and that's where there's a bit of a clash, I guess, in terms of trying to get, you know, natural dune form and function back into that sort of confined space. New Zealand's been isolated for millions of years, that we've actually got quite a unique flora. Maori people started to use the golden sand sedge pinau, one of our major sand-binding species, which is prized for weaving. But with the arrival of particularly rabbits and grazing stock and what have you, pinau was reduced enormously from most regions throughout the country. And I guess what we're trying to do with our programs now is to slowly convert from a marram-dominated dune to a native sand-binding foredune.
Both the pinau and the spinifex produce really good seed heads, and we collect the seed, and then back in the nursery we plant it out and nurture the seedlings, and then probably about 2 years they are ready to be planted out.
If the water does rise, well, even when you have like really high waves, and like not long ago we had that storm and all the driftwood that was up on the sandhills, I thought, oh, like, you know, that's just a warning, just sort of showing you what to look out for.
I mean, it is the first offence. I mean, I suppose we're seeing the sea as something that's attacking us in one way,
Well,
but in another way,
yeah.
and it can do. But it is a hugely effective way of keeping the sea where we want it. And I mean, we are probably very silly in the way we build our developments too close to the sand dunes.
The economics of it. Like this saves District Council thousands.
Billions. I think they've recognised that they would never be able to do it.
Yes.
And that we are such an important part of protecting these areas and restoring them. And they treat us very well, don't they? They support us very well because, you know, we are their hands in a way that produces these fantastic results. And I mean, it's a marvellous community team effort, and you see the results, which are just brilliant in a very short time. I've only been here 4 years, but I remember when I first arrived seeing where they'd planted some of the spinifex in a great big hole in the dunes, and I thought, oh, who's building a garden there? You know, and now there's we've done 3 of those big holes, and now the dune is almost complete again. So it's fantastic in 4 years. Leaning on your shovels, like I say,
I came here in 2004 and there were 3 bays through this area that were all flat so the sea could come right in. So the first 2 bays we planted were down there with spinifex, and Kapiti Coast District Council bought great big logs to hold the sand, and this was the 3rd one we did, and for this one we put wind netting around all the plantings, dug the wind netting into the ground so the rabbits couldn't get in and eat the plants, and this would be, yes, since 2005 that this whole thing's grown up and developed. So effectively we're claiming a little bit more beach. The important thing about an intact spinifex dune section is that it holds the sea back. It also traps the sand. All these runners were washed out on that day, and now they've all hunkered down and holding on again and moving further out. When you look at that lot up there, which is a marram dune, it doesn't trap the sand all blows off. We have no problems whatsoever with kids playing on here. And they bring the health camp kids come down, my grandchildren play there, you know, as they get a bit bigger they can go by themselves. It's fantastic for them, and I believe that, I think if you have fun in a place, as you get older you learn to value that place. So that's my little theory anyway.
It marks the place where the plant is and alerts people to the fact that they might be stamping on a plant, but also to catch the sand as it's blowing around and prevent the wind from eroding around the plant and exposing the roots and therefore causing the plant to die. So it's a multi-reason. I guess the biggest pest is the trail bikes and the quad bikes that people seem to think that they have the right to rip around the sand dunes on and take no care of any of the plants.
Oh, every so often we get a kid that gets in there on their motorbike and ride over the plants, and we get furious. And actually at the moment with whitebaiters down there, they'll tend to have them on, which is brilliant. We can sort of relax a bit in the whitebait season.
When I first come here I only used to go as far as here, and the dunes were right down the thing. Now they're all gone because there's motorbikers, you know, hoon around on them and break them all down. Once the top goes, you know, the wind comes in and blows it all away. Okay, have fun.
Bye.